Hi, I'm Bill Woodard. Welcome to the Chamber Corner. This is our March edition, and we hope you enjoy it. We're sitting here in the literal chamber corner, and we've got, well, Tommy, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell them who you are and what you do.
My name is Tommy Turner. I was elected to the Circuit Court Clerk office. I'm on my second term, and that's it.
Okay, well, now Circuit Court, to kind of explain that a little bit, is that the one that, like Judge Wooten has been the court on, or who are the judges on that?
Well, my office handles everything but Chancery Court.
Okay.
We do the general sessions, which is Judge Collins. Of course, he's got criminal, he's got civil, he's got juvenile, DCS. We handle child support. And then we have Judge Wooten, which has retired. His seat's open. He's what's called a circuit judge, along with Brody Kane and Claire Bird. We handle all of them. And then we have some judges come in from other counties when Judge Collins refuses himself, or whatever you call it, from the case. So we have other judges too that come in.
Okay, so that's 5 that you're basically taking care of the court for right now, if I counted correctly.
That is correct.
And so when one of the judges comes through, then do you have to be in attendance, or one of your deputies have to be in attendance in the court?
I have one clerk and sometimes 2 in each court proceeding. In all the juvenile stuff, I have 1, and then Judge Collins has what's called a YSO officer that sits in, that helps my clerk. In general sessions criminal, I have 2 clerks. It moves so fast we have to have 2. And sometimes in the circuit court, we have 2, which Judge Wooten does criminal and civil circuit. Judge Bird does only civil, and Judge Kane does only criminal. Now, how this is going to stack out until we get another judge, I'm not exactly sure. But
yeah, well, I'm sure that
sort of in limbo.
Yeah, that puts you in a decision-making mode. Now, Judge Wooten, though he is currently still working, or is he gone?
He is out.
Okay,
as of December 31st.
All right, and so no one is actually filling that gap right at the moment.
And it's in 5 counties.
And I believe the election is in what, March?
March the 3rd, I think, is the primary.
Yeah, and then
they'll have to run in August.
Okay, so it'll be sometime in August before you really have somebody covering that spot. Okay, the reason we wanted to do these sessions is so people can kind of get an idea of what you do. It sounds like you've got, what, 4 or 5 folks working in your office then?
I have 4 full-time and a part-time.
Okay,
and myself.
And yourself. All right, so there's basically 6 of you at any one time there. When a person comes to your window, what are the things that they can take care of at the window for your office?
All their court fees and fines that they have to pay, we take those deposit. We take them, receipt them, deposit them in the right accounts. If they have a police report, we can write a summons. You know, some of them's got court, some of them's victims, some of them are defendants. It just depends on what they come there for. Of course, we have attorneys and the people that work for attorneys coming that's filing stuff. Of course, everything's filed in my office. All the court records are in my office for each court, each system. There's hundreds of thousands. Everything has to be kept. Nothing can be destroyed. So we've got files back to the start. Some of them still in the old courthouse. But anyway, we collect money. you name it. I mean, even police officers come up there. If they don't want to write their own warrants, we have to write them. We set bonds on them. We sign them. If somebody's brought in arrested, like a DUI or something, we have to go over in the jail to sort of make sure that the officer hadn't arrested somebody that's not under them. We have to sign what's called a minimus to back up the officer, I guess, in other words.
Right, to make sure it's the right person,
Right, the right person,
charge.
and that there is a second opinion on that the guy is impaired or whatever he's arrested for. And anyway, 5.5 years ago when I took this run for this office, it about overwhelmed me.
Oh, I can
what
imagine.
goes on in there.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I'm still learning, and it just grows all the time. Nothing gets less.
Well, I know when I was in county court, one of the problems that you had was being able to have space to keep the records. I understand you got your shelving in and you're able to keep those records, but where you have to keep them in perpetuity forever, it builds a lot of records up that you have to take care of, and I'm sure that's something that's hard to deal with as well.
You have gobs of records.
Okay, just a normal person on the street, if they don't have any action with the court, anything going on, is there something or anything that you do for folks that, like some type of document or something that they need, or is everything you do strictly with the courts?
Well, we manage jury panels. You know, if we send out names 3 times a year, we pull off a driver's license bank. Most time 400 names. People come in. Judge, whoever's the presiding judge will panel them, which Judge Kane is right now. He paneled the last bunch. They'll serve 4 months. We have to manage all that jury. They call into my office. We've got an automatic line to tell them what days. We give them a sheet of paper when they're paneled, what days to call in. Trials are set. So they call in the night before to see if their panel is chosen. We have to manage all that. I have to keep up to pay them. They get paid $10 per diem, which their employer has to pay the rest, plus mileage from wherever they live. We have to calculate all that and send it over to the finance department to get it paid. Other than that, that's about all the people that don't have court problems we handle. You know, we do all the traffic citations, which a lot of you people get speeding tickets, unless if it's not in the city, if it's a county or a state trooper, or if it's an arrestable offense in the city, they come to my office. So we handle people that have minor traffic, seat belts and all that, you know, not really what I call court problems.
Okay, and are you handling some of this, then you're saying for the city? We have 3 incorporated cities here, Gordonsville, Carthage, and South Carthage, and you handle some of the stuff for them.
We do. If they are like driving on suspended, simple possession, drug paraphernalia, something like that, if they're written that in the city, they'll come to Judge Collins' criminal court. They will. And of course, each city does their own traffic stuff.
Right.
So we don't get that. But we get all the troopers in the county's traffic. And with the interstate, our traffic is sort of phenomenal.
Okay, and we offer a traffic school, I believe?
We have a traffic school the first Tuesday of every month. We had one last night at 5 p.m. And the judge, you know, if you get a speeding ticket, it's $206.50 if you plead guilty and pay it. It puts 3 to 4 points on your driving record. If you get as many as 12 in a 12-month period, it can suspend your license. So he'll let you take traffic school to keep the points off. If you come to the live class, it's $188.50. It'll keep the points off. But you can only do that every 2 years. So it is sort of a break to try to keep you from, you know, if you get a lot of tickets. Now, if you don't get a lot of tickets, you might be better off to just pay it and take the point.
Yeah. Well, I many years ago, I had to do that one time, and I appreciated the fact that we had a class.
And the judge does a drug court up there also, which we're not involved in that, but we do handle all the files and stuff for him. He's got some drug court people that works under him. He has a secretary in them, and all of them are in my office too, so getting files and previous stuff.
Okay, and there's three or four of those folks that are working with that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, have we pretty well covered your office? Give everybody a phone number. How do they get in contact with you?
My office number is, of course, 615-735-0500.
Okay.
We're open from 8 to 4, Monday through Friday, unless it's a holiday. And
the address is Justice Drive, I believe.
322 Justice Drive,
Right.
Carthage, Tennessee.
Okay, and if anybody's got any questions about something pertaining to the courts, I would presume that you would be a good phone call to make to find out what's going on.
If they need to know something about the courts, we can help them. But if they need legal advice, I cannot give legal advice.
Yeah, and I can.
And we get a lot of those calls, but we don't have a law degree and we cannot give legal advice.
Well, and it wouldn't be appropriate probably for you to anyway, because you're actually an officer of the court. And Chancery Court, the last thing we'll go through, you handle everything but Chancery Court. Is there a simple explanation for the difference between Chancery Court and the other circuit and criminal and all that?
Well, it's every county's got a Chancery office. I don't really understand the difference. They do real estate mostly, deeds, wills, like if somebody dies, estates, but they do divorces and stuff too. I don't really understand it. Chancellor Smith,
Right,
he is sort
C.K.
of like
Smith.
C.K. Smith. He's been there today. He comes 2 times, I think only 2 times a year to Smith County, but most of his is in Hartsville every Friday. But other than that, I don't know. Of course, we do a lot of divorces too.
Yeah.
Judge Bird does hundreds of them.
Well, and I think the authority of the courts are different. But we'll get Mr. Tommy Delahaye is the one that handles Chancery Court, so we'll get him in here and let him explain the difference. But anyway, Tommy, thank you for coming by. I really appreciate you doing that. And if folks out there, if you've got any questions about court, 735-0500. And believe it or not, we get a lot of calls here asking questions about it, and we've actually memorized that number because we get so many calls. Folks have a traffic ticket or something and they don't know where to go. And oddly enough, I've been up at the old courthouse a few times, and people come in and they're in a panic because they've got to show up for court and they can't find it. And so we've helped a few people like that. But anyway, we appreciate the job you're doing, and thank you for coming by.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. Y'all have a good day.
Well, we're thrilled to have Mr. Bill Reese with us here, and before we get started on what you want to talk about, Bill, I want to give you some accolades. We had a knife sale here during the Christmas season, and one of your drawings was on the box, and it was quite good, and it was of the Cordell Hull Bridge. And we actually have one hanging on the wall in here, so just congratulations on that. That's quite an accomplishment, and we appreciate your artistic abilities. Anyway, you've come to talk about the theater, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, well, a lot of people may not realize we have theater in Smith County.
Right.
And tell us something about it there.
Okay. Of course, we're in the old historic courthouse, 2nd floor. It's the Smith County Fine Arts Center Theater. We try to do 2 shows per year. This show that we'll be doing this spring will be the 11th show that we have done.
Yeah.
And I'll talk about that in just a minute. But it's open to anyone that likes to act. We have auditions. This past show, though, however, we went with the original cast from the first show. People have asked me why we didn't have auditions. But anyway, it's open to anyone, depending on what the roles call for. A lot of times, a lot of kids want to participate. We try to pick a show every now and then, maybe once a year, that's more kid-oriented, and we're kind of happy about that because we did Charlotte's Web last spring, and we did Charlie Brown Christmas this past Christmas, and we invited school kids to come and see the show, and we had 450 kids to come in to see both of those shows.
Well, and you got invited to Wilson County to perform down there.
We did. First time they said this has ever happened, we did Charlotte's Web at the Wilson County Fair this time.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to seeing what they might offer us again.
Well, I hope you get quite a few more invitations like that.
Right, and I think about doing the shows for the kids it shows them that they can get into acting and theater, and they seem to really enjoy it. And like I said, it's been well worthwhile to bring those kids in to see the shows.
Yeah, and I don't know how big a cadre of folks you have, but if you count up the 11 shows and the different people who have been in it, it's well over 100 for sure.
Oh, yes.
And it could be approaching 200 folks that are involved.
We kind of have a core cast that when I pick a show, I try to look at the people we already have that maybe we can use again, but I don't want to limit that. You know, a lot of times in audition, you have a surprise. Trust me, it's happened just about every year that I've ever done a show.
Yeah.
In the past 20 years. But you always have that surprise actor or actress that comes in that, wow, where's they been all this time?
Yeah, and you might be that person. You know, there's a lot of people sitting out there and they think, you know, I might enjoy that. And you might be surprised at how much you would enjoy being involved in theater.
Right.
Well, now, the production that you're doing now, you want to talk about that?
Yes, we are doing Smoke on the Mountain, Homecoming. And if you've seen the other two Smoke on the Mountains, we did the first one the first year that we did the theater.
Right.
The second year, actually, 2016. And we did the original Smoke on the Mountain. Part two was Sanders Family Christmas. And that was the second edition of the show. We did that Christmas before last. And this particular show is the trilogy show. It ends the series. There won't be any more Smoke on the Mountains, I don't think, because the way it ends, I don't want to give it away,
Yeah.
but anyway, the way it ends, this is the part three of that trilogy of shows.
Yeah, and it's, like you said, you brought back the cast from the first
Most
show.
of the original cast from the first two shows, we offered parts back to them first. And matter of fact, the lady that's playing the mother in this show was actually the mother in the first show.
Right.
So, and then we switched a couple characters around.
Well, and there's a lot of music, and which
yeah.
is good
Wow.
music in it. And
This particular show has 25 bluegrass hits. If you think about the 1930s, 1940s, all these songs are come out of that era. And we use a real bluegrass band to back us up. And of course, Stanley here in the show will play his own guitar. But anyway, we use a bluegrass band to back us up.
Yeah, and Dr. Larry Turner is
Yes.
the set designer
And he
builder.
goes way back. I can't remember. I think the first show he did was Grease at the high school. And he's been with me ever since.
Yeah.
He does a fantastic job. All I have to do is draw it on paper, and he builds it.
Yeah, and he does a wonderful job with that. And of course, with the sound and lights, I don't know if you're going to involve Mr. Peter Reinisch this time.
Yes.
But he does a lighting for you.
He does the lighting for us and helps with the sound. He's wonderful. We kind of found him out by accident, something that you had on the courthouse steps. And of course, Don Knappel is doing the sound now for us.
Right.
And so it's all changed since the high school days. It's all done on a computer, and he walks around with a laptop and, pulls a few buttons here and there and makes the sound happen.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing to watch it happen with the equipment. That,
Yeah, he could be
you got
hiding
up there.
anywhere in the audience with operating the sound.
Yeah, so and that's pretty nice. Well, you got a good cast, a good play. What do you remember the dates? I hate to put you on the spot.
I jotted that down. It's April 17th, 18th, 19th, and then also the 24th, 25th, and 26th. And same times, Friday and Saturday, 6:30, Sunday afternoon, which is always a popular time, is 2:30. And we get a lot of people from church that visit the show after church and come to, especially this one because it deals with church and a Baptist church.
Yeah, in Chatham County, North Carolina.
Yeah, it's. I haven't really looked up. I think there is a real Siler City. It's in probably the western part of North Carolina, and I lived up in that area for a while, and it's so realistic. The person that wrote this play, how they captured even the dialogue. That's the way people talk up there.
Well, it's kind of funny. I was sitting the other night, and they were talking about, and I won't give too much away, but somebody in the play is moving to Wildorado, Texas, and I found out that actually exists.
Muleshoe and all those places are real. So.
Yeah, so they're actually pulling out of real life a lot of this stuff.
And they researched this, and I wonder if they're really Southern people that do this, the writing. Of course, all the music is their arrangements of the songs, like Leaning on the Everlasting Arms. Y'all are familiar with that one. That's in this particular play. And the music just, I think that's what makes the show, is the arrangements of the music and things that you didn't necessarily hear it that way at church, but when they put a bluegrass beat to it and all that, it's quite entertaining.
Yeah, it has some very good music. Well, Bill, thank you very much for coming. Tickets are going to go on sale at the Smith County Drug Center?
They will probably go on sale the 1st of March. The posters will be up at the same time. The tickets can be purchased at Smith County Drug Store, and they always handle that for us, and they do a wonderful job. Just see Miss Samantha out there, and she'll set you right up. By the way, Miss Samantha plays Denise, the daughter, one of the twins, and she's in this show again. And a lot of people, she has her own following. So she's back in the show again this time.
Well, and since you brought her up, she was one of those surprises that showed up for an audition, and everybody was wowed by her.
This girl, like Sanders would say, can sing.
Yeah,
and she could. But anyway, she's been a blessing to have on board with in her shows.
Yeah, she's quite talented and a very sweet person too.
She keeps wanting me to pick My Fair Lady to do that sometime, and she would be excellent in it. So. And
folks, if you get a chance, you need to go and see Smoke on the Mountain Homecoming. It's at the historic Smith County Courthouse, Cordell Hall Theater on the 2nd floor.
Right.
All right.
Thank y'all.
Okay, we're very happy to have Miss Cliffa here with us. Cliffa, if you would introduce yourself and tell them what your position is.
I'm Cliffa Norris, and I'm the Smith County Clerk. This is my 3rd term that I'm serving, and it's a busy office, but I love my job, and we stay real busy. Well,
now, you do, and how many clerks do you have? It's you and four more?
4 more, and then, I have 4 full-time and 1 part-time person. And the part-time person pretty much takes care of the minutes for me and making sure they get into the books and stuff like that. The rest of us wait on the public. And I have one that's my personal bookkeeper that stays in the back all the time.
Okay, well now, you do several different functions there. Let's talk about them individually. Number one, you're the secretary, I guess you would say, for the county court?
Yes. You have to go to the commissioner's courts, take the minutes, and then transform the minutes from the tape that they, where they tape it, video it, and what you write down onto the packets to put into the books for the minutes for the public to keep.
I see.
And let's see, of course, we do the minutes for that. Everything else that we do in there is, if you buy a car, for the first time you're titling it, you come through our office. We do that. After you buy the car, every year you come into our office to renew your tags, Of course, most people know that. If you're getting married, marriage license are done through that office. If you're a notary, every year or every 4 years, they're good for 4 years, you have to renew your notary through the office. Then it has to go through the courts. I don't think what else.
Well, and then the one thing a lot of people, well, my mind just went blank, but anyways, the trash pickup, if they don't have a Smith County tag, but they live here, they can get a permit. Does that come through your office?
No, that's through the mayor's office. But, we refer them down there. And that's for people, Bill, like if you're moving into this county and you're renovating a house, and at this time you don't have your address actually in Smith County, but you're fixing to move to Smith County, and you have a lot of trash to take off and stuff like that, then you go down to the mayor's office and get what they call a trash permit until you become a Smith County resident. Okay.
All right. And of course, we mentioned registration for vehicles and everything. What about driver's license?
We don't do driver's license in the office.
There's a kiosk, though.
Some of the county clerk's offices do that, but we did let them install what they call the kiosk machine to do that. And if you want the Gold Star, which is the new big thing on the license, you can't do that on the kiosk machine. But you can just renew a regular license with it, and it walks you through. It's like a big iPad, and it walks you through everything, and it actually takes your picture and everything you pay with a debit or credit card. And then it gives you your receipt, and they mail you your hard copy out in like 7 days or something like that. So
Okay, and I know it's not really you doing it, but I've noticed you down there helping people a lot.
they put my office in charge of that, so we do help take care of it.
Okay, well, and I noticed that. Okay, one area that I just remember what I wanted to ask you, business licenses.
Yes,
you take
I
care of
forgot
that.
We do business license also. If you're opening a business, you come into the office with your information, and we open your business license. It's $15 to open. Used to, years ago, we took care of all of it. Collected the money every quarter when you paid. But now the states took that over, which has been a nightmare for us, really, because, you know, it's more trouble for us to get their copies after they pay. But now you come in, you pay the $15, you get your business license, and then anything after that's took care of through the state.
Okay, and what is the business license tax? Do you remember what that is? It's a percentage, right?
It's according to what percentage you make, and honestly, since they took that away from us, we don't even know how to figure it now. You know, and you have different classes too, like the different types of business. We have class 1s, class 2s, class 3s, class 4s that you're classified in. It's according to whether you're into sales or if you're a company. You know, it's just different. It varies from different things.
Okay, so when they come into you, they get the application, and do you issue them a license immediately?
Immediately, we put it all into the computer, and then they pay their $15, and they're legal. They have a license at that time.
Okay, and anybody that's conducting business in Smith County, they're supposed to have a business
When you
license,
reach,
right?
if you open a small business, you are allowed to gross up to $3,000 before you're liable to have to come in and pay for a business license. But when you reach that $3,000 grossed, then you're supposed to come in and pay for one.
Okay, so that's why if somebody's having a yard sale or a one-time deal, that's why it's not required for that.
But say if you start a mowing business, you know, which is very popular, if you're mowing for several people and you reach that point of earning the $3,000, then you're liable to come in and open.
Okay, all right. And is there anything that we missed? You got two doors that you come in. What are your hours?
Our hours are Monday through Friday from 8 to 4, and I'm available any hours after that. I go in all the time for people. This past Saturday, I think I made 3 trips up there for people. So, you know, and I understand some people just need it done on Saturdays, and that's understandable.
Well, if you're working a job and it happens to be during the day,
Right.
you're liable to be going to work at 7 and not getting off till 3
Well,
or
that's true
4.
too. Yeah, that's like I said, that's our hours. But sometimes we don't get out there 4, 5, 5:30, or you know.
Yeah, well, I've noticed you guys are
Yeah.
helping people at later times then, and everybody in there. Anytime I personally have went in there, I've been treated very
I got
well.
a great staff. I couldn't ask for a better
very
staff.
helpful.
Very helpful. Yes, very. You know, I always told them, anybody that's ever come to work for me, that office belongs to the public. It's not my office, and it's not their office. It belongs to the public, and the one thing that I want is for people to be treated right, you know, be treated nice. It doesn't matter who you are, you're going to be treated the same as anybody else. So.
Well, and that's what I've experienced up there. You have a lot of license plates on the wall. People can pick different ones, and maybe a portion of that fee goes to an organization. Is
Yes,
that the way
like
that
if
works?
it's for St. Jude's Hospital, for instance, we have that tag. Then so much of the what they collect for that, the regular tags are $44, just a plain tag, and then any of this what we call specialty tags that we have displayed on the wall run $80 a year. So the extra part of that is supposed to go towards that, you know, whatever type of tag it is to help out with like St. Jude's or whatever.
Well, I know my wife had a Helping Schools tag.
Yeah, that part of
for
that
many
went to the
years.
schools to help schools.
Yeah, and it goes into the fund for them. Well, Ms. Cliffa, thank you for coming by. Unless you can think of something else, what's the phone number that they can get you?
Our phone number is 615-735-9833. And actually, when we set that up, we went by names, which most people around here know us all. But, you know, if you don't, you can just push any one of us. And I know a lot of clerk's offices has, you know, if you want marriage license, push this, or if you want that. But we all do it all, so, you know. any one of us will be able to.
Anyone can
anybody.
help you with basically anything you walk in on. Okay, well, the office 8 to 4, Monday through Friday, and of course, if they have something unusual, they can call and talk to you, and you can try to
Yes.
work it out for them.
Like I said, I'd be able to help anybody anytime, you know.
And if you're listening, I would say the majority of people know this, but you're located at the Turner Building, which is off of Spring, off of Spring Street, and you're basically the first office on the left as you come in.
Walk in the front door with the first office on the left.
Yeah, a lot of folks get confused because the court system is out here on Justice Drive.
Well,
but,
and we have people all the time that has a hard time finding us because they think we should be over, you know, with that facility. So they go over there looking for us, or phone calls. We have phone calls all the time for people that need to be in the circuit clerk's office. So
Right, and
a lot
the
of people
key
get confused.
the key thing is you're the county court clerk, which the county court is basically the commission.
Right.
And then the mayor and all the commissioners that basically do the county business.
And then the
you're
circuit
clerk for
clerk
them.
does the other.
Yeah, and he does the other criminal courts and general
And it's
sessions.
easy to get that confused, I'm sure, for people.
Oh yeah,
so.
yeah. If you're not intimately associated with it, I can see how it would be confusing. Well, Clifford, thank you for coming by.
You're welcome.
Appreciate this, and
Thank you for having me, and if I can help anybody in any way, I'm there and willing.
All
If you ever
right.
have a problem, let me know.
All right, and if you have any issues or something, Miss Cliff will be there to help you. Well, once again, we're kind of going through our county officials and letting people know kind of what you guys do. Leanne, would you introduce yourself and tell them your position here in the county?
I'm Leanne Williams. I'm the Smith County trustee. I've been in that office for 22 years now, and we are considered the county's treasurer or the banker.
Oh, but basically the banker. And you're in the Turner Building, which is off of Spring. And your office, if you go in the front door, you're down the hall to the right.
Fourth door on the right.
Fourth door on the right. And I guess a lot of people would remember where you're at because that's where you pay your property tax, right?
That's exactly right. We are there to collect property taxes and all the county money, basically.
Okay. Now, tell them a little bit, how many folks do you have working with you?
I have 2 deputies. I have Jilly Wright, and then I have Charlie Dagg.
Okay.
And both of them came to me out of the school systems. I've always been blessed with good employees, and I am at this time.
Okay, well now, as far as the functions, can any of the 3 of you handle whatever comes up to the door, or?
We do. You know, Julie is the main bookkeeper. Of course, I do all of it. Charlie basically is the man on the front end as far as taking tax relief. A lot of times he'll be the first person you'll see when you come through the door. But any of us can handle any of the processes that you need.
Okay, well now, I know you handle the money, and I know you brought some figures with you. If you wanted to go through that and kind of give people an idea of what the county finances look like, I think that would be a great idea.
Well, county finances right now are looking really good. As you know, we started an early discount for property taxes in the month of October, which was a 2% discount if you paid in the month of October. And we collected about $4 million in the month of October, which is unusual. So there for a while, we were at 50% collection. Then in the month of December, I got local option sales tax, which comes through the state of Tennessee. Like if you have a trucking company or Upper Cumberland Electric, your taxes come in under local option. So that added another $800,000 to my roll, so that put me back up to where I'm collected, not quite 50%. So this month we've still got, I think it's about $4 million to collect.
Okay, and of course the county budget is rolling through, and you need continuity in that. In time past, they've had to make loans and borrow from another fund to be able to have the funds to be able to pay the bills. But this discount, it seems to have maybe smoothed that out a little bit.
I hope so. What we're looking for is enough money to start having some investment coming in, which we've put $2 million on a CD already. I've taken bids on that. We've gotten good interest rates on those. I think one was at 1.65. The other was a little less at 1.4. We're trying to get as much interest as we can off of those, the savings, so that we can turn around and put it back into the general fund.
Right.
So right now in the county, aggregate, we have $19 million on our books. Of course, we're looking at $14 million of that belongs to the schools. Today, you're looking at the general fund has a balance of $1,980,000. Of course, since we've got $4 million to collect this month, you're going to see a lot of that hit the general fund. So we handle all the county funds. I think people don't realize exactly what we do in my office because you take your money and you buy car tags at Ms. Clifford Norris's office, and at the end of the month, she turns her money over to us, which we in turn put it back to where it goes in the line items for the county. And we also take all the court's monies at the end of the month. But landfill and your general fund monies that come in, we take those, they have to be deposited with us every 3 days, just like a bank.
Okay, and I know the state has made some rules now. One person takes the money, another person checks it, and then another person has to deposit it so that it always has at least 3 sets of eyes looking at it.
Checking system, yes. What we do in my office is I'm usually the person, I don't do any mail. Charlie and Julie will do the mail. And what I do at the end of the day is each one of us do our own individual drawer checkouts. We have to balance to the penny before we turn that money loose. So then we in turn have another person check those deposits. I run my checks either to the bank and balance it that way, or I also do a remote deposit through Wilson Bank and Trust where the checks are actually run through my office. So if I have an issue with balancing, I know right away. Of course, when you take it to the bank, then when I come back, another person checks to make sure the money was deposited correctly. So we have a very functional way of doing our system, and we've never had any issues whatsoever.
Yeah, well, none that I've ever heard
No.
of, and even before you were there.
Yes.
All of the folks that's been in that office seems to be pretty competent. You bid the CDs and stuff out to the different banks to get the highest rate.
Yes.
And then, of course, the county court, they have to approve that, or
No.
How does that work?
They don't have to approve any of my bid rates at this time. Pretty much the trustee is responsible for all the bidding process. You are supposed to get bids on your bank accounts every 4 years now. Of course, you have to take into consideration if you moved an account, paying for checks and that kind of stuff takes into consideration. But I do bid and take a look at those bids every 4 years and make sure that we're getting the most return for our money. But when it comes to a CD, what I do is I go to all 4 local banks with a letter stating how much money I'm putting out for bid. And they have to be collateralized properly through the state of Tennessee or be in the state collateral pool. So if they have proper collateral and they get the highest bid, then they get the money. Then I turn those reports over to the county commission to let them know where the money is being invested.
Okay, and that's what I remember seeing then was those reports that you were
Exactly.
turning in. Okay, when people come in and they pay their property tax, there's some programs that are offered that are a little bit different depending on who you are in the community. You want to go through those?
I certainly will. We have a tax relief program if you're 65 or older or permanently disabled, and your income for 2018 was less than $29,860. That would be all persons on the deed. For instance, if you have a life estate, but none of your children live with you, you don't have to count their income. But if one of your children lives with you and you have a life estate made to them, then we must count their income. But basically, the $29,860 is the key figure. If you filed an income tax return in 2018, we do need a copy of that before we can submit it for the 2019 property tax relief. We also have a property tax freeze. The freeze program, the income limit is $31,790. So it's a little higher. It's based on the median household income for Smith County. You have to be 65 or older to be on that program. We also have a veterans tax relief program. This one really is close to my heart. It's not income based. It's based on your rating for disability through the Veterans Services. We don't make any of those determinations. What we do is you come in, You sign your paperwork. We submit it to the state of Tennessee. They in turn get your information from the Veterans Affairs. The good part about this program is this year especially, even with tax increase, we saw this program go up in the amount of money that the elderly or disabled receive. This year it's $170 from the state of Tennessee, and we match up to that in Smith County. So basically, you're getting a $340 discount. If you are already on the program, or if you're coming on new, you will get a refund. So in the Veterans Program, pretty much though, they pay up to 100% on like a $150,000 piece of property. So that's a really good program for our disabled veterans that have it's not 100% disability rating. They don't let us say that anymore. If you have a rating that would qualify you as a war-related disabled veteran, you can come in and apply. We can send it to the state and see where we come on that.
Okay. Now, there's another program called Green Belt. Do you handle that, or is that through Terry Collins' office?
I do not handle Greenbelt. That is through Terry Collins' office. Basically, you got to have 15 acres or more to be on Greenbelt, and you also must have a certain amount of income coming off that, but that's an assessor question.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
All right. Any other program that may have missed?
Basically, that's all the programs that we have. We also take the local option sales tax through our office. We've talked about that during the budget process. And that's one of those things I think a lot of people don't understand in Smith County. When you go to Walmart, it's real important if you shop local, because your local option sales tax come back to Smith County. And right now we're getting a 2 cents of that, okay? And we're putting that 3/4 cent back on the ballot again this year that was taken off. But those dollars do matter for Smith County.
Well, and a lot of people may not understand the 3/4 cent sales tax. It really, in the cities, didn't come off. It just went to them, and if it gets voted back in, it comes back to the county. So you're still paying the tax.
Exactly. When you go to Walmart, you're still paying that 3/4 cent. Yeah. It's just not split between the county and city anymore. Now, let's clarify that South Carthage is no longer getting that 3/4 cent.
They are not.
They are not. But there's lots of things that we do collect, and it's just one of those processes that every day, everything we do affects the budgets and everything. So I'm blessed to be in office and appreciate so much the people giving me the opportunity.
Well, we appreciate the job you're doing, and maybe you want to tell them your phone number again.
Okay. The telephone number to the office is 615-735-8242. Our operation hours through the month of February will be extended the last week in February. We will be in the office as far as taking money from 8 until 4:30. Now, we will be open on February 29th from 8 in the morning until noon, so that people can get in. That since we're in leap year, you got till February 29th. We also have a drop box at the front door, and it says Smith County Trustee. Do not put any cash in there, but it is for checks. If you need to drop off your taxes, you can do that. We also have an online portal. It's tnpayments.com/Smith. The problem with that is you are going to pay a processing fee to the processor. Right. Or if you use e-check, it's I think at 1.75%. It's a little cheaper, but you do have that option to pay online. You have option to pay in the mail or in person. Okay.
All right. Well, Leanne, I can't think of anything else. I think you pretty well covered it. We really appreciate you coming by and being with us.
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate the job you do.
Thank you.
Hey, Chris Hicks here with you from the UT Extension Office, along with Mary Draper, Katie Martin. We're glad to be with you to talk about some things that are coming up at the UT Extension Office. In March this month, we're going to begin, again, our Home, Farm, and Garden Lunch and Learn series. We did this last year right here at the Chamber of Commerce. It was very successful. We're going to bring it back again this year, the first Wednesday of each month, beginning in March with weed identification. We're going to talk about weed ID, how to identify the weeds in your pasture, your garden, your lawn, wherever you've got weeds. We're going to talk about how to identify those and then how to control them. We've got a lot of great topics we're going to talk about in future months: water management in the landscape, warm season vegetables, food preservation, landscaping, lawns. We've got a lot of great topics. I hope you'll come by the UT Extension office, get one of these nice home, farm, and garden schedules, home, farm, and garden lunch and learn schedules, or you can check out our website at smith.tennessee.edu and get more information on the home, farm, and garden lunch and learn. Again, it's the first Wednesday of each month from 12 to 1. We'll start at noon, and the lunch is only $5. So you get a pretty cheap lunch and a good educational program. We'll get you out of here within an hour so you can go back to work or back home to do whatever you had planned for that afternoon. But hope you can make plans to join us. If you do want to join us, we do require that you call the Extension office by the Monday before the lunch and learn to let us know you're going to be there so we can prepare enough food. So if you'll call by that Monday and RSVP, that would be great. My coworkers here have a lot of stuff they want to talk about as well. They've got some exciting things coming up. So Mary, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Awesome. In April, we have Tai Chi coming up. This is a 6-week program, and it's good for anybody, not just those for arthritis, but the benefits are flexibility, balance, all kinds of good things that come with this. It's $48. The deadline to register is April 2nd, and so we can hope you can join us for that.
And of course, spring brings a lot of 4-H activities. Not only have we already started archery and livestock judging, we'll have wildlife judging coming up soon, and we'll also be getting ready to register for our livestock shows that will happen this summer. So if you or somebody you know is a 4-H'er that is interested in showing cattle, sheep, goats with 4-H, make sure that I have their name so we can make sure to get them signed up. It is also never too early to start thinking and talking about 4-H camp. We will be going the first week of June this year, and camp signups will be here before you know it. So be on the lookout in our March club meetings for a camp brochure to come home with your 4-H'er, along with information about other opportunities for the various grade levels this summer. We plan to again host a livestock clinic, a cooking camp, along with some other regional and state level activities that your 4-H'er can participate in. So lots of exciting stuff coming as it comes into spring. Please be on the lookout for newsletters coming home with your 4-H'ers, or remember you can always check out our Facebook page or our website in order to stay up to date. We encourage you guys to stop by our office or give us a call and find out what all is happening with UT Extension.
Okay, we're really happy to have a couple of guests coming up here, and you guys are going to talk to us about Emmanuel House. First off, though, introduce yourself. Start over here.
My name's Holly Burton. I'm the director of the Emmanuel House.
And my name's Monica Mowdy. I'm the vice president of the board of directors of the Emmanuel House.
And the pastor of?
And the pastor of Carthage United Methodist Church.
Yeah. And these guys have come by to just tell us something. Holly, I believe you're going to tell us a little bit about the house itself.
Yeah, I was just going to keep you up to date on the house. Currently, we have 11 residents, and we have 3 babies under the age of 1, 2 boys and a girl. And then we have 2 babies on the way that will be due here in the next few weeks. So we've got 2 due on the same day. Everyone's doing really great. Most of our girls are employed. And we just really are asking for prayers to keep these girls safe and clean. And I think they're doing great. And it blesses my heart to see them because I've been there and I've done it.
Okay, well now a lot of people may not know exactly what Emmanuel House is, so what's the criterion for somebody to get accepted into the house?
Okay, the Emmanuel House is a transitional living facility. It's for women and children only, no men. It's for people that have had addiction struggles. It's for people that have had domestic violence issues, people that are just homeless and down on their luck. It's not really a temporary shelter like it used to be. It's an 18-month program to where we help you transition into a better life.
Okay, and if a young lady comes to you what you basically do is if she's homeless, no job, no prospects or anything, you take her and you train her.
We take her, we'll get her driver's license if that's available. We'll do parenting classes. We'll work with DCS. We'll work with her probation. We'll help her find employment and get her on her feet.
Okay, and so when they start this program, they're basically not contributing to society at all. They're actually probably a drain on it. But once they go through and start the program, one thing that I like about it is they actually start paying rent and start paying their bills, getting them ready to go and get into life. So this is a very good program.
It's a wonderful program, and it helps women transition back into productive members of society.
Yeah, that's a wonderful thing. Now, Monica, you are here to talk about the fundraiser that we had that was so great.
We had a fundraiser back in January, and we just want to say thank you to the community. It was our first time out. It was called Taste of River City. We had restaurants and caterers bring food, and organizations in town cook soups and chilies. We had a silent auction. When it was all said and done, we raised about $7,700, which is wonderful because it let us all breathe. And we are just so excited, and we're blessed because we're also the recipients of the River City Ball funds this year, some of the funds from the River City Ball. So we operate totally on donations and rent from the girls, and the rent only covers about a fourth of our budget. So we love donations of money and sometimes things. If you'll watch our Facebook page, sometimes Holly will put out a plea for laundry detergent or diapers. We're always in need of diapers and wet wipes. It seems like babies just need those things. And so we are just a very blessed organization. The community has really rallied and been super supportive. We always need employers. If you're interested in employing any of our women, contact Holly at the house. You can call me at the church. We have one girl in school who's looking for a car. We just have, we're always having things as we help these women do better and take budgeting classes and all the things that they do. We just really need a lot of help because the things that the community provides is not only support, but it's a community. It's a true community for these women.
Well, a segue into that, I might add, there are several churches that make a regular monthly donation to this, and they are all flavors.
Yes, and not only churches, but just individuals in our community, and anyone can do that. We have a process where you contact one of the board members or Holly, and we'll set you up, and it can be automatically drafted from your account. But we do work with as many of the churches that are interested, and they are so supportive. And we have some that do repairs on the house, some of them that baby-proof, some of them that transport people. We are just so blessed by the churches in this community, and that's good for the women. The women are required to be involved in a religious organization of some sort, and I think currently they attend 3 different churches. Between the group of women, they attend 3 different churches in our community, so that's great.
That is a wonderful thing, and the wonderful part about it is that you take somebody that maybe they've kind of lost hope, and you give that back to them. I think that's a wonderful thing.
The children get their mother back. That's the best part of it.
I had one of the girls tell me the other day I was helping her work on her taxes and get all the paperwork in, and she was over at the church having things faxed, and we were having trouble getting into some software, but we finally got in and got what she needed. And she goes, "This is why I was always in trouble, because I just couldn't do this. I couldn't do it on my own, and I'm so thankful that the house is here to help me get through some of these kinds of things." And so that was really exciting to hear, something as simple as that.
Okay, well now there's rumors about that there may be another taste of River City. Can you talk about that?
I will tell you 2 things. One thing, we will for sure do it next year in January or thereabouts. It was way too popular. There were some people that came that said, "Will you start doing this every month?" and we vetoed that quickly. But we have been asked to consider doing something this summer and do it outside with some summer food. And so we'll be meeting soon to make that decision. We need the funding, so we definitely are interested in doing that. And people seem to really enjoy the the time together. People stuck around and visited and had a really good time. So I say, if you're interested, let Bill know or let one of us know that you want to do that, and we'll do it.
Oh, yeah. And if somebody wants information about Emmanuel House, what's the best contact number for that?
The best contact number would be 615-588-1995. You can leave a voicemail, or there's our website. We've got a website, theemmanuelhouse.org. We've got a Facebook page. We're everywhere.
Okay. So if they want to get in touch with you, they can, and of course they can contact you.
And they can contact me at the church. If they want to drop something off for the house, they can always drop it
Well,
off at the church.
and we've got several people on the board that
Yes.
if you know a board member, you can get information from
Bill's
them.
one of them.
Yeah, proud to be a part of it. Emmanuel House is a very vital part of the community, in my personal opinion, and I feel like that it really fills a gap and a need. We have a need for a men's shelter. Nobody's ever been able to really come up with the solution for that, but maybe someday.
We also need one for teens. There's a lot of teens, and speaking with the teachers and the different people at the school, that there's a lot of older teenagers that their parents have kicked them out of their homes, or they don't have stable homes and they're couch surfing among friends' homes, and that's another need we have. But the trick first is to find a house, and the second is to find a group of people that will make it happen.
And support it. Well, thank you all for coming, and just keep up the good work.
And thank you for all your donations.
Yes,
we couldn't live without them.
We couldn't. Thank you.
All right. Miss Kristen Sanders. Well, I always let everybody introduce themselves. Why don't you do that? Tell them who you are and where you work.
Okay. My name is Kristen Sanders. I'm the director of the Smith County Fitness Center, and it's located over where the health department is.
Okay.
Most people don't know that we have one of those.
Yeah, that's true. What is your phone number?
Our phone number is 615-735-2735.
Okay. And you're here today to talk about a March 7th event? Why don't you tell them about that?
Yes, so there is a committee here that is promoting success in children, and this year our goal is to help children succeed in school. So we are hosting a Back to School Bash, which will be an event where we hand out free school supplies. That's in July. So in order for us to have that event and have those school supplies, we're doing a fundraiser. That is the 5K. That will be on March the 7th. It is a Back to School Bash 5K. It'll be March the 7th at the Smith County Ag Center at 8 a.m.
Okay, and the July event, of course, will be likely at the Ag Center.
Yes.
And it's giving out school supplies. If someone wanted to donate or give school supplies for that, they could contact, I guess, Miss Kim Maynard?
Yes, so Ms. Kim Maynard is in charge of our committee. It's called the Kids Central Committee. She is in charge of that. They could contact her or call the fitness center and let me know.
Okay, and you can give them the information on that.
Yes.
Fitness Center, what are your hours?
Our hours are Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., and on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Okay. And you've basically got just about anything that a person wants to use to work out.
Yes, and we also have an indoor walking track, and so you can come and pay for a day pass. You can come and do monthly memberships, and we have some free weights. We have cardio machines, strength machines, everything you need to get a good workout in.
Okay, and do you remember the pricing on like a day pass? And
Yes, I do. So our day pass is $3 a day. That gets you access to everything that is there. You can do $1 a day to just have access to our walking track, and then our memberships start at $35 a month, and there's discounts for seniors.
right, and chamber members.
Yes, and chamber members. Mm-hmm.
So, well, we're very glad you're over there, and I hope you're making a difference in the health of people in the county. I know I see a lot of folks over there.
Yes, we have several members that come. Most of our members are there for certain medical concerns or medical conditions that they have, where the doctors have encouraged physical activity. So we're a place that offers that. We have a member there currently who's recovering from a stroke, and so he's done his rehab, and he's using our place to continue that.
Right, and it's a wonderful place. And Kristen, you have a degree in exercise science, is that right?
Yes, sir. So I have a master's in exercise science and nutrition, and I have a bachelor's degree with a focus in nutrition. So.
Okay, and you, of course, are an employee of Smith County.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, thank you for being here today. You really wanted to push the March 7th 5K. That's a fundraiser for the school giveaway.
Yes.
In July.
Yes, so if you can come out, it's a 5K run walk over at the Ag Center, and all the proceeds from that 5K on March the 7th will go to our July event. So you could, by participating in the 5K, you would be able to help kids receive free school supplies for the coming school year.
Okay, and if you need information about that, you can call us here at the Chambers, 615-735-2093, or you can call Kristen at
735-2735 at Smith County Fitness Center.
Okay.